Do I like monster smut? Hey guys, so we are doing a reading vlog this week. I am super excited. I haven't done a reading vlog in a very long time. I am just really excited to read some of the books that I have up in store for me this week. And it is actually, I don't know if it's a part of the series or if it's part of a different series coming out. I don't know. I really don't know. But I am excited for it because it is one of my favorites for sure. And then there's two that I've been kind of wanting to read and one that I've never even heard of before until today. So the 4 books that I'm going to be reading this week are The Devourer of Men by Nikki St. Crow. Love The Vicious Lost Boys. Absolutely adore The Vicious Lost Boys. I'm actually already reading it, so we'll get the continuation of it because I'm about halfway through right now, so I really want to make sure that I am finishing that. And then we're going to be reading That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. This is a book that Britt really loves, and you know, her reading it made me really want to read it because she just really loved it. She devoured the book, and I know that there's a couple other ones, so I love me a series as well. And then we are going to be reading The Barbarian Ice Planet. Yes, Ice Planet Barbarians. Again, something that I really wanted to kind of wait a little bit to read because it's all over TikTok, but Britt had read this book years ago and actually reread it when the new covers were re-released, and we have all of them here, so why not? And then the 4th one is a book from KU. It is, oh, what is it called? I'll put the book here. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Something about marrying a alien cowboy? I don't know. I've never really dived into alien or monster romance before, ever. I consider The Devourer of Men more of a monster romance just based on the characters involved. Sorry, I have a little blonde cat down here reaching for me. I'm gonna see if he wants a hug. Do you want a hug? You do not want a hug. He does not want a hug. Oh, baby. Oh, gotta go? That's what I get for picking him up. So The Devourer of Men is something that I would consider a monster romance because of the characters involved. And then The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon is, I guess, again in the monster realm, but it's more like a fluffy monster realm. You know? He's a demon. Is that considered a monster? I'm assuming so. But the other 2 are aliens, and I've really never delved into alien romance before. So this is all new territory for me. I'm kind of excited. I don't know what to expect. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna have fun with this. So yeah, let's continue reading / get along with reading our monster / alien romance book, shall we? Let's see how this goes. Is The Devourer of Men by Nikki St. Crow. Absolutely loving it so far. It's amazing. I'm halfway through. I'm on chapter 20 right now, and this is book 5. I believe it's book 5. Book 5 of the Never King series. The reason why I'm thinking that it is part of the actual series is because it incorporates the same characters. Well, 3 of them anyway. Hook, Croc, and Wendy Darling. Wendy isn't really in the Never King series. It follows a different Darling girl, but again, we're not spoiling anything here. There's going to be no spoilers throughout because my sister is reading the Never King series. She's only read book 1, and I'm refusing to spoil anything for her. So the goal for tonight is to finish this book. I have entered into a whole new realm when it comes to reading, especially on Kindle Unlimited. I do have a stand here that fits my tablet and my Kindle, but not only that, I also have the coveted remote control for the Kindle, and it does work for my tablet. So I am ready to get reading. We haven't had dinner yet, so we're going to do that soon, but I really want to get a couple chapters in before I get dinner going. So yeah, we're going to read some Devourer of Men, hopefully finish it tonight. We're just going to read some smut, and yeah, let's get reading. So I just finished The Devourer of Men. Loved it. I kind of wish there was more smut in it. I got so used to like the Never King series, and I just realized, like right when I finished the book, I just realized that this is not part of the Never King series. This is its own series that's interlocked with the Never King series, because at the back of the book, you know how it shows all the works of the author. It had the Vicious Lost Boys series, which is the Never King series. And then it has the Devourer series, with Devourer of Men being the very first one. And I am so fucking hyped for this. It's its own series. But yeah, like I ended up finishing it. Again, I'm not gonna spoil anything about it. I do wish there was a little bit more spice to it. Like I feel like this book was more heavy on the plot and the storyline, because I know that at the very beginning of each series that kind of comes out, especially when it's on the more fantastical side, because this book kind of is a retelling, a very dark retelling of the Peter Pan series of Peter Pan. It's more difficult to just go straight on into the smut. I'm assuming that if there is a book 2, which I have a feeling there is, because it ended on a cliffhanger, and one that I'm very excited about, because my favorite character from the Vicious Lost Boys series was mentioned. So I'm hyped. I'm here for it. I can't wait. I'll be watching for book 2 to come out. It did end on a cliffhanger, like I said, so I feel like there's a lot more to this story that's going to be coming out. The next book that I am reading is one that my sister really, really enjoyed. And she just said that it's not like the best writing in the world. It's not something that's like, you know, the best of literature. It's just fun. And that's really what I'm looking for. And that is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved the Demon by Kimberly Lemming. I love using my tablet for this, because you can see the full color and the full art of the story. I don't even know how many pages this is. Let's see. Oh, there's a map. We also have the physical book of this, so I could always grab the physical as well and do some physical reading. I believe it's on Brit's bookshelf that's in there. And that's another thing I'm super excited about. We ended up getting 2 small bookshelves and putting them on either side of our dresser. So Brit has her colorful, you know, like rainbow-esque, cutesy romance books. And over here, it's all black. All of my books on my shelf over here are dark romance, so they're all black. But yeah, she has the physical book. So, ooh, what are the content warnings of this? Let's read the content warnings together. So in this book, says, please be aware, this book contains light BDSM, dubcon, oh thank God I love dubcon, violence, mentions of sexual violence, no R-word or sexual assault occur. It is mentioned in conversation. Sexually explicit content that could trigger certain audiences. We have dubcon, so this is more like on the dark side. Is this more on the dark side?
I don't really
Is it fluffy dark? Or is it just...
I would say kind of fluffy dark.
Like a rom-com. This is not like a rom-com book.
No.
Okay, good. Apparently there are only 277 pages in this book, which is not bad. Let me go grab the physical copy and see exactly how many pages are in it. So, because what I end up doing is I always end up like marking out what I'm going to be reading for the night, and that kind of helps me when I'm in a slump. I have not read romance books in a very long time. I've been sticking to like thrillers and fantasy, and not even romantasy, NA or YA fantasy, nothing with sex in it. So I haven't read romance in a very long time, so I'm hoping that this will kind of bring me back into my smutty era that I really want to be in. But let me go grab that physical copy and see how many pages in this. Physical book, see how many pages are in here. 260. It's a 260 page book. That's not bad. I usually read about 100 pages a night. I could probably get through this book in 2 days. I'm not counting today. I don't know if I'm gonna read more tonight. I could, because it's still really early. What time is it anyway? It's only 8 o'clock. So, oh, I have to take my iron pill. Yeah, like you finished that book really quickly.
Fast. I ate it up.
I'm gonna start this book. I'm not gonna say tonight. I'm thinking that I'm gonna start tomorrow and really try just to kind of like spend some time with myself every single night and read. For work, it's a little harder to get in the mood to read sometimes, so I'm just gonna try to just take the time for myself. I am gonna go heat up some dinner and we'll see if I read tonight. So I just got done work and I am officially reading That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. And the first line in this book already has me snickering. Because the first line in this book is, I had only two things on my mind: cheese and how to get home. If that is not my husband in a fucking nutshell, it's crazy. That's so funny. That's a good opening line right there. But yeah, I'm just starting the book right now. Now that I'm done work, I do have to go out and grab stuff for dinner, but I think that I'm gonna take like an hour and see how many chapters I can get through before we all head out and go grab dinner. So let's see how far I get into. That's fucking hilarious. So I got to page 85 last night of That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. And I realized like what my brain is like registering is not wrong with it, but what my brain is registering with the book. It's not that I don't like the book. I like the storyline behind it. I think it's a really cute story, but there's some atmospheric things there that aren't hitting. There's some details where the scenery and what the characters are doing and where they are not laid out in a way that is easy for me to comprehend. I'm enjoying the storyline of it. I think the story is really cute. Because it's basically, I'm not going to spoil the whole thing, but like Cinnamon finds a demon randomly and realizes that her whole belief system is not what she thinks it is. She has to go on a quest with this demon to break the curse of the goddess that they worship in her village. So it's really cute, and the storyline is adorable, and I really like the characters, and the fact that there was already a touch her and die moment made me really happy. It's just like those little atmospheric details that are really killing me right now. So, but other than that, I'm really enjoying it. So I think I'm gonna try to get to at least like a page 180 today, and we'll see what happens. But right now, me saying that I was gonna finish this in 2 days was absolute bullshit. Because it is day 4 and I'm halfway through the book. Almost halfway. Wow, it's embarrassing. Halfway through the book. I'm in a lot of pain today. But I'm trying to manifest a good day. I'm trying to manifest me just having a good day. So I have my water with me. That's a thing from the Netherlands. Since I got back from the Netherlands and when I was there, I can't be anywhere without water anymore. So that's a good healthy thing that has manifested from that trip. I also have coffee because it's needed. Coffee is needed. Here are the 3 goals for the day. Okay, 1, finish my complete work day without having a mental breakdown. 2, finish the book today. I only have like 150 pages left, so around there. So finish the book today. And 3, eat healthy and finish my water. I'll update y'all when all of those 3 things are finished. So, I'm still reading That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm almost done. And the most absurd mental image is in my brain now. Because the description of how they are having sex is the most unsexy thing I've ever heard in my life. Basically, he's like 7 feet tall and she's like 5'5", right? So there's a drastic height difference, as is the case with most, dragons and demons and things like that, right? So it said that he's got one arm wrapped around her waist and one arm wrapped around her shoulders, and he has hoisted her up into the air, and her feet are just dangling. And that's the word that's actually used, dangling. As he's bouncing her up and down. It's the most unsexy, awkward fucking sex scene in any book I have ever read. And I'm laughing about it because what else can you do? Like, just the fact that the author says dangling. He couldn't hold her up against the wall or something. He couldn't turn her to face him. No, she's facing away from him. And she's dangling. Like, it's the worst, man. But obviously I'm having a good time. Forgive the way I currently look. It is Thursday and I'm working. And it's just been a rough couple days. But anyway, I finished that time I got drunk and saved a demon. At the end of the video, I'll be giving my thoughts on every single one of the books. I know I already gave a little bit of thoughts on the Devourer of Man, but I'll go into more detail at the end of the video. But I'm going to be starting Ice Planet Barbarians tonight. It's just... it's something that, I mean, I was never really, like, interested in really getting into in-depthly. Let's just read some barbarian smut. So I'm gonna grab that today and start reading that tonight. Is it on Kindle Unlimited? Let's check to see if it's on Kindle Unlimited. Yeah, it definitely is. I'm gonna read Ice Planet Barbarians starting tonight. And then yeah, see where we go from there. Okay, so I have started listening to Ice Planet Barbarians. It's actually a duet, which makes me happy, but I didn't know that Spotify had this this book to listen to on audio. I had no idea. God, I'm really enjoying it. I just finished part 1. Do I like monster smut? This is a realization for me. Do I like monster smut? Like, Britt informed me a little bit about what the book's about, right? So I was like, you know what? Let's read it. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a try. Oh my god, do I like monster smut now? This is the thing. This is more alien smut, though. Maybe monster smut won't be my thing, but I did just read that I didn't really like it. I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely intriguing. It's definitely interesting. It has my attention. I see why people read these books very fast. I get it. I get it. I understand completely. I do. I luckily have some admin work that I have to get through. So maybe I'll get through part 2 while I'm doing admin work. Maybe. I love admin work. Love it. I get to listen to audiobooks while I do my typey thing. Yay. Good morning. I may have read the entirety of Barbarian Ice Planets last night. Just read that thing cover to cover. I listened to half of it and then I read half of it. I think that was a good idea because there are some things in the book that weren't making sense to my brain, like how he hears her pronunciation of English words, etc. So it was a good idea. I rated that book a 4.5 on Storygraph and a 4 on Goodreads. I had a lot of fun with that book. Now I'm reading... Let me get what it's called. Give me a second. I'm reading Married to an Alien Cowboy by Ursa Dax. I don't know where this is all coming from, but I'm enjoying myself. So we're going to see how long it takes me to finish this. It is now officially my Saturday. So we are on our way out the door to do our, Saturday routine. I gotta go to the bank. Gotta go other places. We'll see how long it takes me to finish this book. It's not that long. And it's on KU. So I have my tablet and I have my clicker. So we're going to read that book tonight. I finished Married to the Alien Cowboy last night. I literally read that book in one day. That's 2 books in a row I read in one day. Thoroughly enjoying the monster slash alien romances right now. I'm actually getting ready to start book 2 of that series. And then I also want to read book 2 of the Ice Planet Barbarian series, like, immediately. I am not mad at this. I have not been this into reading in, like, I'm gonna say 6 or 7 months, and it was a struggle to get me just to settle down and read something and, you know, just try to enjoy my own quiet. I think I have, like, officially found my groove for at least this little while. I'm not gonna say I won't get into another slump, because it's entirely possible that I for sure will. But right now, like, I'm reading what my mood is telling me is healthy for me. I didn't know what to read next, and I was a little bit like, you know, what do I read, whatever. I still, you know, really wanted to read some more monster romance, and Britt suggested Legends and Lattes. And I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? Not really feeling it right now. Right now is not something that I really want to, like, that's not what I really want to read right now. And instead I picked up book 2, which is, I think it's called Wrangled by the Alien Rancher, which is fantastic. It's a fantastic title. We love it. But yeah, this week has been really, really good. And, you know, me reading as much as I have been and getting down to it and just finding my love for it has been really, really helpful. So we're gonna go through all of the books that I read, what I rated them, how I feel about them, some little things that maybe I didn't really like about them so much, and then we will move on from there. So the first book that I finished was Devourer of Men by Nikki St. Crow. I have said multiple times that I am a humongous fan of the Vicious Lost Boys series, and waiting desperately now for book 2 of this series to come up. I had a hell of a good time reading it. I thought that it was exactly the kind of story that I would love for Hook and Rock to have. I thought it was very, very well done. I personally feel like the inclusion of Wendy could have been done a lot better, because Wendy is really, like, she's almost like an urban legend in the Vicious Lost Boys series, and we don't really know much about what happened to Wendy when reading that series. When I was reading Devourer of Men and I saw that it was about Hook, Rock, and Wendy, I was super excited, because I thought, you know, we would get much more into Wendy's backstory. Unfortunately, that's not really the case, and we know what happened to Wendy now. We understand the dynamics of what happened with Wendy and how Rock and Hook are tangled in that. But I just wish there was more. I wish there was a lot more that came with that. I was also looking for a little bit more smut, if I'm completely honest, because I'm so used to the Vicious Lost Boys series. I was anticipating a lot more, a lot more than what there was to this book in terms of the smut. But I'm not really gonna complain, because the smut that is in there is actually really well done. Doesn't seem too exaggerated. I do like the kind of slow burn manipulation thing that is going on there. But yeah, I rated the Devourer of Men a 4.5. It is rated a 4 on Goodreads, only because they don't do 0.5s. I think everybody knows that now, but it is rated a 4.5. Again, can't wait for the next one to come out. So hyped for it. Yeah. So the next book that I read was That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. I rated this book a 3 on Goodreads. On Storygraph, I rated it a 2.75. I wasn't really feeling it. And the reason why has nothing to do with the story. It has nothing to do with the characters. Nothing to do with that whatsoever. I actually relate to this character a lot. Cinnamon is a girl who likes the idea of adventure, but doesn't actually want to go do it. And girl, same. Want nothing to do with that. But she's thrust into it, right? She's thrust into this adventure of a lifetime that she has to go on because she decided to save a demon. And now her and that demon have to work together. There are certain elements that sound really, really good. It's the execution for me that does it. So one thing that really bothers me is when the atmosphere isn't clear. So I have a hard time visualizing when it comes to reading. It's really hard for me to visualize scenes and stuff like in my head when I'm reading. I have my own narrator, but I don't have the visual aspect of it. I don't know what that's called. I know it's called something, but I don't know what it's called. So when the scene is not described in a way that is easy for me to understand, it kind of takes me out of the story, and then I focus so much on where the characters are and what they're doing, and you know what I mean? So this book has those scenes in it. So one prime example, the demon, his name is Fallon, by the way. Fallon and Cinnamon are packing up the cart to take with them on their adventure. And they're arguing about where to, no, not where, but about the spices that she wants to bring. She's a spice girly. I mean, her name's fucking Cinnamon, for God's sake. So they're arguing about the spices that she wants to bring with them on this adventure. He doesn't think they're necessary. And she's like, no, I'm not leaving without them. And he's like, whatever. And it says that he walks away. And then he walks away. So my brain's thinking, oh, they're outside arguing about this in front of the carriage or near the carriage. But then it jumps to her plopping on a couch. And I'm like, wait a second, she's inside? It didn't say he walked outside. So just little things like that kept happening. They just keep happening throughout the whole book. Like, the scenes are not laid out in a way that you can understand or see them in your mind's eye clearly. And because I don't have a very strong mind's eye when it comes to visual, reading to visualization, it made it so much harder for me than it made me like come out of the story way more than I wanted to. Another thing was, the smut in it. When the smut was happening, it was okay. Like, it wasn't anything special. It wasn't anything that, like, I would write home about. You know what I mean? But there was a cringe moment when... Okay. I am all for, like, describing what one is going to do to the other. You know what I mean? I'm okay with the dialogue of, like, this guy is describing in detail what he wants to do to the FMC. I'm okay with that. Not for a fucking whole 2 pages, I'm not. Like, there's like 2 full pages of this guy just telling this girl what he wants to do to her. And it gets to a point where it's like, okay, all right, okay. Either shut up and do it, or shut up. Just shut up. Like, save a little bit of mystery for later, I don't know. It got to a point where I was reading it and I was like, ugh, it's a little cringy. Like, I could have done without it. Overall, I mean, again, I just don't think those things hit with me well. And I remember telling Britt, when I first started reading, because once I got into reading it, I went through it within a couple days. But like, I read the first chapter and then I felt myself going, oh God, I have to read the next chapter. And I knew at that point that it wasn't going to do well with me, because the problems with the atmospheric descriptions started right away. So it was just exhausting me to read to try to figure it out. And that's why I got the rating that it did. So the next one that I read was Ice Planet Barbarians. I read this one literally cover to cover. I don't think, the only reason why I stopped reading it is because I had to work. And I was listening to the book while I was working because I was doing a lot of admin stuff. So I could listen to a book. So I listened to like half the book while at work, and then I read the last half of it when I was done work. So like, I literally just didn't do anything besides read this book for the entire time I was reading that day. I rated the book a 4.5. I cannot wait to read book 2. Like, I am so here for book 2. I loved every bit of it. Now, there are some parts where I was like, okay, sir, like, it got a little bit extreme, but I think I just like the miscommunication. And I like the attempt to learn each other part of that storyline. With Ice Planet Barbarians, it was really, it just starts off like hardcore, you know what I mean? Like, she meets him, and I'm not gonna say how they meet because that's a spoiler, but it starts off very intense. Like he sees her and bam, like something happens right away, right? And it's different in the sense where, like, in other alien romances, I think they had like some sort of communication where they could communicate in certain ways. With these two, they didn't really have any way to communicate. They didn't understand each other's languages, period. There was no translator. There was nothing that they could use in order to understand each other. They were literally speaking two different languages from two different cultures, from two different parts of the universe, and they had to figure it out. And it works so well. I just spit everywhere. he is like, he's a gigantic alien golden retriever. That's what it is. He's a gigantic alien golden retriever. It hits the tropes that make me the most happy. The touch her and die. Like the really possessive, like not controlling, but like protective male character is something that I love in dark romances. So when I realized that this had that in there, and alien, romances, I think they're typically gonna have that in there because they're like more of a mate kind of situation, I got very excited. So yeah, I loved the series. I cannot wait to read the second one. It just makes me so happy. And then the last one that I read, Married to the Alien Cowboy by Ursa Dax. Y'all, this was probably my favorite one that I read out of the four, including Devourer of Men. I think that this book was my favorite. And the reason why is, yes, it's an alien romance. Yes, it is, a monster, again, it has those tropes of the possessive male, the communication barrier, it has those things. But it doesn't start out so abruptly with the stuff. This book is a series, so it's the first book in a series, and the series is about mail order brides. Basically, it's an alien penal colony, so alien convicts from a planet called Zabria, or Zabria, whatever, and they're basically being allowed brides, and so they're interacting, with human females. It is not like fated mates. It's nothing like that. It's literally the human women coming to the penal colony and marrying these men. So there's that little sense of awkwardness, completely different set of species having different ways about going about life, and they've never seen anything like each other before. But then it also has that slow burn element to it. It doesn't have the immediate, chemistry that Ice Planet Barbarians has. It doesn't have that. It has that slow burn, getting to know you, falling in love kind of feel like a rom-com has, and it makes my heart happy because I get what I like in a romance, which is the touch her and die, marriage of convenience kind of deal there, like that dark, because it is a little dark as well. I'm not going to explain the whole book, but it's like it has a darkness to it that I love when it comes to my dark romances, with the rom-com slow burn feel to it. It just made me happy. I absolutely adored it, and I'm currently reading book number 2 because I do not want to stop the series yet. And I just found out there's a novella coming, or maybe it's book 4. I don't know, but I'm hyped for this series now. Ursa Dax is an author I've never heard of before. It was actually Britt who told me to go look up Ursa Dax, and I am now so happy that I did. So happy. So that is the reading vlog for today, for this week. I had a lot of fun, and I'm going to continue with my alien romance. I'm definitely going to continue on with it. I am officially a monster romance girly, I think. I think I've stepped into the world and I'm never stepping out. I think I'm here to stay. So I'm really excited to be able to say that, because again, I haven't found something new in a while that kind of got me excited to read all over again. Reading romance really took a back seat last year. I think that's where my slumps really came from, because I'm already on book 8 of the year, and it's only the beginning of February. I'm on book 8 of the year. That is that is unfounded for me, especially after last year. So I am over the moon with what I'm currently reading and how I'm getting back into it. Again, they're not super long books. I'm not reading, you know, a 500-page romance. I'm not reading the newest things that are going on TikTok and BookTube. I am straight up just reading to enjoy myself, and this is how I'm enjoying myself right now. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me this week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.